Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bevan Boychuk and I love movies. But I also love Bo Dallas. I also love wrestling. Although I do love Bo Dallas, I find him very entertaining. I actually enjoy him much more than Bray Wyatt, who is his brother, and they are the sons of Irwin R. Shyster, and that family has some really weird wrestling characters. But I'm not here to talk about the Rotunda family. I'm here to talk about The Undertaker. As I mentioned on Sunday in my review of The Rock, I am going to talk about Undertaker and who he could possibly face at this year's WrestleMania. Now, the last couple years for Undertaker at Mania, they've been a little rocky. This past year, he had the aforementioned Bray Wyatt, and no one cared about that match. The year before that, he had Brock Lesnar, and he got a concussion about 2 minutes into it, and it became just a very not good match. And it's a shame because he set the bar so high for a whole bunch of years. There was Batista, there was Edge, Shawn Michaels and Shawn Michaels again, Triple H and Triple H again, and CM Punk. He had about 7 or 8 years of really, really great WrestleMania matches, and then he had a couple stinkers the last couple years. Some people might blame his age and his body. I don't know, maybe it's just the opponent. The Brock Lesnar match, they've had good matches since then. We're gonna blame the concussion for that one. And Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, I've never connected with Bray Wyatt myself. I know a lot of people have, and I kind of get it, but whatever. Him and Taker just didn't click, and it's what it is. So who will The Undertaker wrestle at WrestleMania 32? There's a couple theories out there. There is the Braun Strowman theory. Just like Undertaker through his entire career, you get the new giant, you build him up, you put him against Taker, and Taker beats him. I don't think that serves a purpose though. Just build Braun Strowman up for somebody else to beat. It doesn't have to be Undertaker. Undertaker will gain nothing from beating Braun Strowman, so why waste that match? Why give Braun Strowman a major loss like that to someone who doesn't need it? There is the Sheamus theory, where Sheamus, recent former heavyweight champion, he's a guy who could wrestle Undertaker, I guess, and take a loss. That sounds very unappealing to me, because I have nothing against Sheamus. He's just not at Undertaker level, despite, as I said before, being a recently former heavyweight champion of the world. Same thing goes for the Alberto Del Rio theory, where Alberto Del Rio came in, he beat John Cena for the US title his first night back. But what did he do since then? He didn't do anything. He flip-flopped a bunch of times with Kalisto, and if Kalisto can beat Del Rio, I have zero reason to believe Del Rio could beat The Undertaker, especially at WrestleMania. There's the weird theory of, because right now Brock Lesnar is feuding with the Wyatt family, and his most recent feud has been with The Undertaker, and people are under the impression that Undertaker and Brock Lesnar could tag team at WrestleMania with a respect storyline against either 2 or 3 or all 4 of the Wyatt family, and that sounds horrible. They keep building up the Wyatt family to a certain level just to bring them back down again with a loss. You had Bray Wyatt and John Cena, you had Bray Wyatt and The Undertaker, you had the Wyatt family break up and then come back together because they couldn't do it on their own. The same thing is going to happen with Bray Wyatt and Brock Lesnar, but why bring Undertaker into it just to kill all of them? Even if it's Brock Lesnar and Undertaker versus all 4 of the Wyatt family, Undertaker and Brock Lesnar are still going to win, so why waste the Wyatt family in that situation? Now, a couple more theories that I am more in favor of. There is the Rusev theory, where Rusev, of course, wrestles Undertaker. These theories are not very hard to fathom at all. But Rusev is a guy who he's waiting for that big step up from the mid-card to the main event. You know, he was kind of there, and then he lost the title to Cena, and that's fine, whatever. He just never really went anywhere after that. But putting him again in a high-profile feud with someone of the Undertaker's caliber, even having him lose at WrestleMania but still go toe-to-toe with the Phenom, could really, really elevate this guy. Same thing could be said for Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens hot on the scene. He's fairly protected. I mean, he did just lose to Dolph Ziggler clean. But, you know, he's a guy who he can talk on the mic. He can carry the feud himself with Undertaker not even being there. And I think Kevin Owens, I mean, if he's going to lose, he's going to lose, but he's still going to lose to The Undertaker, which could elevate him. But, you know, both Kevin Owens and Rusev, I think, they're going to be there for a long time. So, yes, they will benefit just from the match, but they could only benefit that much more from a win against The Undertaker. And Undertaker losing is not out of the question depending on the opponent, of course, because he's already set the precedent of losing to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania a few years ago. Out of those two options, Rusev and Kevin Owens, I think Kevin Owens would be launched into superstardom and Rusev would just be pushed up to the main event. I think they would benefit differently to greater or lesser extents than one another, but both could definitely use that match and benefit from it, whereas Sheamus, no one cares about Sheamus. He's not going to benefit at all from losing to Undertaker, whereas I think Rusev or Kevin Owens could just by having that match. My dream opponent for Undertaker is, of course, Sting, but like 20 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago. But Sting needs surgery as far as I know, and he will of course be missing WrestleMania and probably is done wrestling from what I understand. John Cena's out, Seth Rollins is out, Daniel Bryan's out. There's also the Dean Ambrose theory where he probably would turn heel, I would imagine, to wrestle The Undertaker. But either way, he would definitely benefit more from a win than a loss, whereas, like I said, Owens Rusev would benefit just from the match. Ambrose would need the win. I don't want to throw Ambrose at Undertaker just to lose. I don't want to see Undertaker and Brock Lesnar again. That sounds like I've seen it a bunch of times over the last year or two, so I don't need to see it again at WrestleMania. I definitely don't want to see Kane at WrestleMania again. And the only other option I could really see them going with, and you know, some of my buddies have said it, is Finn Balor. But Finn Balor coming in and losing The Undertaker, that's not going to benefit him. I mean, yeah, he's seen as a top guy, but if he loses his first match, even against The Undertaker, he's just seen as a loser. So I don't want to waste his first match on a loss. If Finn Balor had been in WWE since the summer and not on NXT, but he'd had, you know, that 8 solid months of the main roster, then yeah, maybe I could see that happening. But I do not want him to debut against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So those are my thoughts on The Undertaker and WrestleMania. I think the two options I like the best are definitely Rusev and Kevin Owens. And I think if you go with Kevin Owens, you want to give Kevin Owens the win. Rusev, I think, could also definitely use the win. You see, as a top player, I think both those guys are right on the cusp of being big deals in 2016, but they just need that extra something to elevate them. And a match, a good solid feud, or even a win over The Undertaker would really put those two in that main event picture. And so that is it. As always, click that like button, click that subscribe button. I put out videos every Thursday and Sunday. Although over the next couple weeks, that might not be super strict. I am in the process of moving. That's why the desk does not look as complete as it normally does. For sure, in the next few weeks, I'll have a brand new setup in my own office. Right now, I'm in the bedroom, which is not ideal, but it does the job for now. While you're clicking buttons of the like and subscribe variety, comment below who you want Undertaker to wrestle this year at WrestleMania. And do you think this is his last year? How many years do you think he got? Does he have 5 years left? Does he have 10 years left? Will we see The Undertaker at WrestleMania 50? Comment below. And I will see you on Sunday, hopefully. But until then, I am out.